Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Since 1997, the Central Administration in cooperation with the Cotton Sector Promotion Program has implemented a new way to disseminate know-how to the farmers. This is the content of my presentation, which is divided in two parts. I will mainly give you a short introduction about the principles, the characteristics, and the philosophy of this approach, and Dr. R.Harnisch will then give you information about the impact this new approach can show. But I'm waiting for our nice machine there, who is not working. Now it's coming. So the Egyptian cotton farmers yield an average of about 6 to 8 10,000 per annum, as we all know. Although this is far from the potential the Egyptian varieties have. So the question is why? Of course, there are several reasons for this, but what is related to extension, we can say that often the recommendations which are given by the village extension worker to the farmers are not always adapted to the potential, the problems, the needs, the priorities the farmers have. We often hear within our approaches to farmers that we say, I have this and this problem that unfortunately nobody can help me to solve it. Another point which is of interest is the kind of stagnation in the release of new innovations concerning agricultural practices. In this context, I might refer to the results we have had with seed treatment, which has shown a high potential in protecting the seedlings over a period of 4 to 6 years, which has impact on the health of the plant and quite significant impact on the yield. And last but not least, farmers often doesn't make use of the recommendations which are delivered by extension. We will come to this point later on, what is the reason for this. But let me start with a statement. The Central Administration of Agricultural Extension Services has achieved very, very good results in disseminating the messages in kind of an extension package during the past on cotton production to the farmers. So you will ask me why I'm sitting here and will tell you to show you a new way of an extension approach. Why change is needed if we have had good results in transferring knowledge to the farmers. There are also several reasons for this, but one is, of course, due to the liberalization and privatization of the agricultural economy, where the crop cultivation is no longer centrally planned, where the farmer has now the choice to grow what he would like to grow. So he takes his own decision of what he would like to grow. Another thing is the input supply marketing, which was so far controlled by the government, and where the farmer is now confronted with a free market, where he should take his decision and his option of what is the best way for him to deal with the free market in order to buy most of himself The second point, which we learned from discussions we have had with farmers in several governorates, is that, and here we come back to the success of the extension service, that the farmer memorized very well the extension messages, the package which was disseminated by the extension service. But unfortunately, sometimes you only stop part of it or not almost actually close of it. The reason is that the extension efforts so far were very successful in exchange of knowledge, but were not so successful in changing the behavior. What is the reason for this? As you can see here, the village extension worker has in the past mainly used a kind of approach which was more or less instruction oriented. So he has got this message from the research station, which has developed the messages and has given these messages to the extension service. The extensionist has taken it and has transferred in a one-way direction to the farmer. So he was a kind of messenger and not so much a kind of person who came into a dialogue with the farmer. So the farmer had received the messages, but the farmer was not involved in the elaboration of these messages, and he was more or less passive and was the listener. So he got the message and he has taken it and he has refused to use it. With a new approach, as you can see here, the trend is away from this instruction-oriented way. It's more in the direction where farmers are identifying his needs and priorities, where farmers are involved in problem analysis, in solving activities of the problem, in decision taking, and also in the experimental stage of looking if these messages or information recommendations are of benefit for him. A very important point is this group approach, which allows farmers to share their experience. And we can say that this is the first step in direction of a farmer-to-farmer extension, where farmers learn from the experience of their colleagues, which has shown a very high effect on transferring messages. You can see from this chart that each part plays its role in this new approach. The research, the farmer, and the village extension worker are teams who work and learn together from the experience each of these parts have. The village extension worker is no longer a messenger who just transfers the message to the farmer. He is now more a kind of a facilitator who facilitates the group work, who stimulates the discussion process, the exchange of experience, and who is capable to enhance group dynamics in the way of the discussion process. The close contact with the farmer in the so-called action research, where the extension get messages from the farmers concerning his problems and needs, his priorities he has, and where they are sitting together to look for the solution for his problems. In summarizing what has been said so far, what are the characteristics and principles of the different approaches, you see here both of the extension approaches, the current one, which is still implemented by some governments, and the new one, which has been implemented since 1997. The aim of the current one is more or less to disseminate messages, while the new one creates awareness and develops skills of the farmers in problem solving and decision taking. Concerning the philosophy, in the current extension approach, the research and the extension analyzes the situation and more than decide on the messages to be disseminated. While in the alternative approach, research, extension and farmer, as I mentioned, jointly decide what messages are needed. So they together develop the extension methods by implementing their problems and needs. The role of the extensionist is, in the current approach, more this of the teacher, and his approach is more in the way of instruction and order-centered, while in the new approach, the regular extension worker has been trained to facilitate the group work, to facilitate the participatory learning and doing together, and so that the farmer understands the reason why the recommendation is given. The training content is, in the current approach, more or less a technical package, while in the new approach, methods and principles are chosen need and problem oriented and based on the content of the messages are based on the actual research where farmers, extensionists, and researchers are sitting together. The teaching method is more or less lectures in the classroom so far and demonstration fields, while the new approach is very based on sharing experience, using the field as a classroom where observations and experiments take place and where the farmer can take profit from experiential learning activities. The impact is, in the current approach, that the farmer is more a listener and is more passive, while in the new approach he is an active participant in the extension process, and this leads to more sustainable development and sustainable adaptation of the extension messages, and which will help them more to become self-help capacities in the changing agricultural economy. Thank you very much.